Hello, beautiful people. Don't mind my skin. This is feminine cycle stuff. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about the parapsychological field and how it's a great interest to me right now due to some recently past experiences and still ongoing. So, parapsychological parapsychology is a field in psychology that is being studied and at the moment cannot be fully explained using known scientific tools. So, scientific findings. So, the first part of the field that I'd like to cover is telepathy, which is the mind to mind control. Mind to mind communication, not control, communication, without the use of five senses, the known five senses. And then the second one I'd like to cover is clairvoyance, which is the obtaining of information about an object or an event without knowledge or physical interaction with it. And the third one I'd like to explain or touch on is precognition, which is the knowledge of future events before they occur. And then the fourth one I'd like to touch on is retrocognition, which is the knowledge of past events that was not learned through traditional means. So I'm just going to share like a few personal experiences and examples of how I came to develop this as an interest again. Since I was a child, I was into quantum physics, and then I grew into psychology. Now I'm merging it with my music, and it's all come together in this story. So for the telepathic communication, I swear, even the crickets in Kilifi were holding something like a guns-filled experiment, which was where study participants were deprived of any sensory input to minimize noise. But yes, something interesting happened in Kilifi, where I was in. I told you that I was previously diagnosed with schizophrenia. If I look around, it's because I'm on a path at the moment, sitting on a log, so don't mind me, and there are people passing in front. But yeah, the first example is about telepathy. So I went to the psychiatrist I usually see, and while I was there, in the waiting room, I thought, can anybody hear me here? And then I saw a man smirk. And then I asked, are you also telepathic? And he nodded his head yes. And I immediately began to scold him for violating my mind, because this stuff can be very dangerous for children. You shouldn't be violating people's minds. You can't just walk into somebody's mind and expect them to be right with it. I'd been hearing people asking me questions in my mind. For example, questions about my knowledge in psychology, just random questions which I'd answer for exams or something. If I were in a master's program or even an undergraduate program, just usual questions. But yes, at this point, I'd gone for a particular injection, which the psychiatrist had promised, but I walked in for a consultation. And yes, I was scolding this man and I was telling him, you know how dangerous this is for children. You can't just do that. It's going to ruin a child's mind if you do this to someone who's much younger and doesn't, understand what's really going on. It's quite concerning, thinking of grown men and women sometimes just violating people's minds. I don't know how else to put it, other than a violation of privacy, a violation of autonomy, a violation of individuality. It's a violation of just freedom. Yes, so I walked in for the consultation, and then when I walked out, he was gone. The man who shared the same ability, there were like 5 other outpatient people in there, and I think they were all men. Not I think, I'm pretty sure they were all men. Yeah, a week later I went in for the injection they gave me, which is why I think also this hasn't happened since I was a teenager this badly. But yes, so they gave me the injection, and after that the telepathic communication became a lot more bearable. A lot more bearable. I don't hear anyone's voice in my head other than mine. And I have some synesthetic not communication, but ability. I don't know what else to call it. Where I hear jazz music in my mind, and I hate to think it's brain damage, but I'm not saying it is. But it's quite nice to have this ability to just, hear music in my head, being able to compose, but I'd like that to remain private, not for other people to just take it and exploit it or listen to it and judge it, because that hinders my progress in success, especially in the music industry. Okay, so the next one I wanted to touch on is precognition. So the knowledge of future events before they occur. While I was younger, I painted images of 4 people. And this was about a decade before I moved to San Francisco and Chicago. But while I was young, I used to perform what is known as astral projection, although I don't anymore due to being attacked by some female. I could only call her a succubus during my last practice of that. So yeah, precognition. I painted multiple pictures of people who I met later on in life as love interests, actually. And then during my astral projection sessions, I went to multiple places. I was taken to this place where it was like there were red crystals and blue crystals. They looked like different colored emeralds that had constructed the city, and there were many people who looked Caucasian or Palladian, Caucasian, and they were having a lot of sexual fun. And then I moved to to San Francisco, and it was exactly what I dreamt of about 8 years before. And then in Chicago, while I was younger, I think I was about 8, I had a dream of my aunt who had just previously passed, and she was in the middle of the Chicago city running towards me, and she really wanted to tell me something. This is common for Kikuyu culture to have such experiences, but yeah, she wanted to tell me something. And then I moved to Chicago, and I walked down the exact same street I'd seen in my dream, with people in suits, people just walking in the afternoon, in the late afternoon from work. And it hit me like deja vu, but I remembered it quite vividly, that I dreamt about my aunt being there, and she was having a panic attack because of the amount of people who are around her. And I won't go too much into that. The next is clairvoyance. So, clairvoyance, the obtaining of information of an object without physical interaction, or just knowledge of something without physical interaction or prior knowledge about it. Might be hidden, might be anything. So, while I was younger, I was able to remote view. My sisters are witnesses to this, but I can't give any information intentionally right now for study, because I intentionally blocked all of this using psychiatric medications. Yes, so I was able to tell time on clocks without looking at the clock at any given time. I was able to remote view objects in other rooms. Like if you put a bag, something in a bag, and put it in another room, I'd be able to tell you exactly what color that thing is, even without me knowing what it was. A personal example recently happened, actually about a month ago, where I was in Kilifi in my apartment, and I was leaving to go to distant relatives, so I packed a little bag of cannabis, which I would smoke in the compound discreetly, even though they do allow it outside. And as soon as I walked through the gate, the bag was gone. There was a lady who knew exactly what was in my bag, and she'd taken the little bag of cannabis. And later on, she asked me, where are my flowers? And I asked her, where is my bag? And it ended there, to be honest. Because there are some people who are walking this way, I'm going to be a bit more cautious of what I say. So the last is precognition. Not precognition, retrocognition. And that's the knowledge of past events without learning them through traditional means. And I created this playlist, which I titled Spectrum Hopping. At first it was titled Spectrum Hopping, and it was of a story I watched in my own head. A few minutes before, in my own mind, a few minutes before an ECT treatment, electroshock therapy treatment, which I had in April. And I'll link it down below. It tells a story that is quite interesting. I thoroughly enjoy this playlist every now and then. Check it out, and if you are interested in that, please let me know what you think. It's a composition of a compilation of songs that were written later, much like hundreds of years later after this story happened in my mind. But I'll post it and link it down below so you can check it out. I hope this little video was interesting. I just wanted to post this because I think this should be an area of much research and attention and study, mostly because I'd like to stop this from happening to children, having their minds violated like that. But I hope you found this interesting. Hope I don't look too that. But yes, if you're interested in quantum physics, psychology, music, parapsychology specifically in this case, and you've experienced anything that I've mentioned in this video, contact me and put a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead to get other things done. I love my audience. Thank you for showing interest, and see you soon. Bye.